Hey everyone, Mr. Newman here, and today we're going to learn about representations of functions and just do a few examples in practice. Just a reminder, try these problems on your own first before watching the video. Alright, Allison owns a music store and sells DVDs at $18 per DVD. That word per is very helpful because it can tell you what the independent variable is. If you want to write it out, the cost of the total money depends on the DVDs. That means that the number of DVDs is the independent variable. Notice how it says per DVD? That almost always makes that the independent variable if you're struggling to understand which one is independent and dependent. The dependent variable is the total cost because it depends on the number of DVDs. Our function is going to use the word per here again. It's going to look like this. F of x equals 18 times x. Anytime you see the word per, that number in front of it is often multiplied by x. Since x represents the independent variable and represents the input, which is the number of DVDs, 18 times the number of DVDs gives you the total cost. If Craig orders 5 DVDs, how much does it cost? Well, 5 will be our input, so f of 5. We plug in 5 everywhere there's an x. 18 times 5 is 90, so the DVDs cost $90. Number 2, Ann buys used cars in auction for $2,000 per car. There's that per again. So $2,000, the cars, number of cars, and the money are the two variables. Which depends on which? The total cost depends on how many cars you buy. So the number of cars is the independent variable. Notice it's after the per. And the total cost is the dependent variable. Don't forget this $100.50 fee here. That's just to take part in the auction. So that's a one-time fee. Our function would be f of x equals, well, it's $2,000 per car, so 2,000 times x, plus the $150 fee. That's a one-time fee. If Ann buys 13 used cars, well, let's put 13 in for the input, because that's the independent variable. That's the number of cars. That's x. Then f of 13 equals 2,000 times 13 plus 150. You can plug that into a calculator and you get 26,150. So the cars cost $26,150. The last part of this type of quiz is going to be on having a link sheet, and this is where you need to fill out all these parts. Once again, we see per package, so independent variable. I'm going to go ahead and put down number of jerky packages. The dependent variable, you notice we're talking about money here, is how much it costs, so the total cost, or the total money. That's the independent variable is the x, so I'm going to start with my table header there, and y is the total money, so I'm going to put that header there. If we sell 0 packages, then the FFA has $6, so we're going to start at $6. Next, notice that we add $4 for each package, so that means plus 4 each time, plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, and that gets down to those numbers there. When we're graphing it, I'm going to spread out the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's nice and large. Again, label your axes. X is number of jerky packages. I'm going to go by 2s because my last number I want to graph is 26. If I go by 2s, it's 1 tick above, and I can deal with making the graph 1 tick higher, better than scrunching it down way too short. Again, label the axes. This label headers and label axes is the most common thing people forgot while practicing these. Don't forget that on the quiz. The point 0, 6, I plot that point as y-intercept, and I plot all the rest of the points, draw a straight line through them, and there is our graph. Lastly, it says write a function for this situation in function notation. You guys now hopefully understand that y equals is the same as f of x equals. When I ask for function notation, though, that is talking about f of x equals. So I'm going to write both of them up here, but f of x is the function notation. This plus 4 is the rate, $4 per package, so that's what I'm going to multiply by x, the number of packages. 6 is the starting value, so it's 4x plus 6. And that is the same way you write the function notation. F of x equals 4x plus 6. Well, what does x represent in this situation? Again, that's the independent variable, number of jerky packages. What is y? The total money. Notice over and over and over here, we are just writing down the same thing. Notice the purple over and over. One of those goes on each one, and same with the green. The same thing is written over and over and over. Make sure you have one of those on all 4 panels so you don't forget that. Don't miss that. Now, how many packages of jerky do they have to sell to make $22? This is where you have to think and wonder, all right, 22, is that input or output? Well, money, dollars, $22, that is our output. So I need to look on the table for where 22 is, and there it is on the output side. That means we make they need to sell 4 jerky packages to make $22. You can also see that answer over here on the graph. 4 to get $22. Thank you very much for watching.